Hi guys, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the pre-chorus of Drifting. Let's take a look. Alright guys, just wanted to quickly reiterate the tuning, which is D, A, D, G, A, D. So get yourself in tune and we'll get started. Okay, let's have a look at the first chunk of this pre-chorus. Still using that overhand left method on the left hand. What I'm doing is I'm hammering 9 of the 6th and 9 of the 4th, and then I tap 11 of the 4th string. Okay, and then I want to do an open note on the 1st string after that. I'm just using my ring because that's what I've got available, but you can use your middle or whatever you guys want. Okay, after that I want to do a tap into a slide from 11 to 9 on the 3rd. So we're going to go... Okay, after I've slid that tap from 11 to 9, I want to play an open note on the 1st string again. So let's play what we've got thus far a little slower. If that makes sense. Then I've got this little chord thing here. So what I've got at the start of that is just 9 of the 5th string with my pointer finger on the left hand for the chord. And I'm going to hit that chord, and as soon as I finish the strum I'm going to eventually hammer on this middle finger to 9 of the 3rd. Okay, after I've done that I do a couple more strums. So I do the hammer on, forward, back, back. Hammer on. If that makes sense. So all together. At the end of that, I want to go. So what I'm doing at the end is I'm going forward, and then a tap. And that's hitting 11 of the 3rd string. Alright, let's put this whole little chunk together nice and slow. Okay, so the second chunk of the pre-chorus is going to be very, very similar to the first. The start's going to be this. So all the way up to the slide tap and the open note will be exactly the same. Okay, then I go. So let's see where that variates. So I'm going to do that chord with the hammer on again, and then the forward, back, back thing. So it's identical to there, and then I do one more strum. So it's just an extra downstroke. And then I'm tapping 11 of the 3rd string, and then after that, I've got to do a hammer on to 9 of the 4th string with my pointer finger on the left hand. And then an open note on the 2nd string, so I go, new bit, one more chord on the tap, and then hammer to 9 of the 4th, and then open on the 2nd. Alright, let's try this whole little second chunk nice and slow. One other thing to quickly mention is on the final pre-chorus, on the 2nd group, we go. So with the exception of that slide tap, everything's the same, and all I was doing there on the 2nd group was sliding from 12 to 9. Okay, this third little chunk is a little bit strange because it's a bar of 3/4 and then a bar of 4/4, so it does get a little bit confusing on the timing, but if you do it enough times, it sort of sounds right. So we've got. A little bit difficult to count and do at the same time, but let's handle the 3/4 bar and then the 4/4. So what I'm going to do here is do a hammer-on chord on my left hand to the 5th fret of the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th string, and then I slide my tap from 7 to 9 on the 4th string. Okay, and then I want to hit an open note on the 1st string. Okay, then after that, what I'm doing is on the 3rd string I'm doing a tap from 9 and sliding to 7. And when I get to that 7, I want to do another open note, sort of go. Okay, then I get into this chord here, which is kind of the major idea. You can use what fingers you want, but I tend to find that these work the best for me. I've got a flat pointer across 7 of the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th, and then my ring fingers on 6th fret of the 3rd string, so I go. So that's pretty straightforward, back, forward, back. I just sort of leave the first drum for a little bit. Okay, then after that I want to do a tap harmonic on 12 of the first 3 or 4 strings. Now after I get that harmonic happening, we pull off the left hand. It sounds pretty silly without joining into the next bit, but you can sort of hear how that will work. So let's try putting the whole section together nice and slow. So the third section ended with this. So we've just finished on that pull off from that 7th fret kind of major chord thing, and we start the next group with this. So what I'm doing there is, instead of doing like we did in the 3rd group, I'm actually going to hammer that chord on and the tap at the same time. So I'm doing the flat finger chord on the 6th, the 5th and the 4th all together. Doesn't really matter too much about the 4th, but I just do it as a force of habit. And then I'm doing the slide tap from 7 to 9 on the 4th. Okay, then once I slid to 9, I want to play open on the 1st string. Okay, then after that, I'm doing a tap slide from 9 to 7 on the 3rd, and then I just pull that tap up to the open note on the 3rd string. Okay, then I get to this chord. Quite lovely and delicious. All I'm doing is playing 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Okay, so go forward, back, forward. Okay, but when I do the forward stroke now, this time, the 2nd forward stroke, I'm going to hammer my middle finger down to 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So after I've done the hammer on, I want to do sort of like a flamenco strum. And again, you might do something different, but to get that kind of Reiki rhythm to it, I tend to go for that sort of more flamenco-y style strumming pattern. So I'll go. So on the way up, I'm holding the middle finger down, and then when I have that big down stroke, that's when I'm pulling off the middle finger. Okay, so at the end of that, after I've done that pull off, I do a slap harmonic on 12 with the little chord idea, and then pull off that pointer finger to the open note. And that'll get us ready for the chorus that follows. Okay, so let's put the 4th section together slowly, and if that makes sense, we'll try and do the whole thing. Okay, let's try the whole thing now. And that's the pre-chorus, guys. I'll get cracking on the chorus in the next couple of weeks. See you soon.